quarter of 2026 meeting, and we normally meet once a quarter. So for all of those that again can't make it, they normally watch the video. So a couple things that we'll kind of go over this morning. We are changing the format and the way that we do this because some of the agents can't be on. So we're going to talk a little bit about the attendance. Okay, so all right. So housekeeping items. We ask that people mute when they're not speaking. Use the raise hand feature if you have any questions. Keep the communication respectful. I know we all can have differences of opinion, and we try to keep that moving. I would love to see the faces of our agents as we go through this, because sometimes when I'm staring at a bunch of letters or symbols, it's a little distracting on my part. Try to limit the background distractions as you go along and make sure you're on mute. The follow-up resources, we'll be sending those out. Use the chat if you have any questions, and just stay on topic. This meeting is being recorded, as mentioned, because a lot of the agents can't make it throughout the day and they're able to watch this later. So throughout the actual presentation, I will be asking for participation in some parts of it. So chime in if you have any questions, or, as I ask those questions, be a part of it. So going forward, Phoenix Real Estate Group, we're going to be requiring attendance to these broker meetings, whether that's in person or if you're watching on video. We will be tracking attendance for compliance purposes, because each one of these meetings, I'm normally teaching something that's changing in our industry and something that we have to be aware of. So with that being said, we're going to just be keeping track of those that are taking the classes and or watching the videos, just so that we know that you got the information. So next, we're going to introduce Mr. Owen Graham from One Source Home Connections, our partner and concierge service for our clients. We were super excited to be with him and Dan, and working with both of them and getting a different level of service to our clients as we close on our transactions. So with that being said, I'm not going to hold you any longer. We have Owen and Dan from One Source Home Connections on with us this morning. So I'll let you take it away about the partnership and how you guys can help our clients.
All right. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited about this partnership. My name's Owen Graham. I'm the Business Development Manager here at One Source Home Connections. On the call is my director, Mr. Dan McGauley. Dan, thanks for joining the call. And we are looking so forward to this partnership with Phoenix Group. This partnership is an exciting one, as our company is going to be offering a free concierge service to your home buyers. And I want to just take a minute just to kind of give a high level of who we are and what we do. We are a full service concierge service where we provide setup for all the home buyers, all their utilities, and entertainment services. We're a nationwide company. We work with real estate organizations all over the country and are looking so forward to working with Earl, Brian, and the team on being a great extension to what you guys are already putting out there. We've been in business for 18 years. Our headquarters is out of St. Louis, and our partnership is one where we want to make sure that the client is taken care of. So our services that we provide are, again, there's utility and entertainment services that we set up. We do this in about a 20 to 30 minute process. So gone are the days of your home buyers spending, anywhere from 4 to 6 hours making multiple phone calls, being on hold, not having the right information that they need to get the services turned up. Our organization does the research prior to the closing. We understand what utilities are in the area and what entertainment services are in the area. So when we reach out to you, the client, we'll be able to have a great conversation where we can go ahead and set up the home buyers services in that 20 to 30 minute process. So that's kind of high level of how it works. Dan, could you kind of go into a little bit more of a deeper dive into that process?
Yeah, absolutely. So once we receive the customer's information, our team will reach out. And like Owen alluded to, our goal is to save them time, right? On average, like Owen said, is 4 to 6 hours. And what we do on that phone call is we're going to ask them questions, what services do you need? Maybe some people have already set up their gas and their water and they just need help with electric. And then those are the ones that we're going to assist with. We also are going to ask them if they need internet, TV, cable, satellite, home security, you name it. And what happens when, let's say, Owen is our customer and Owens is like, yeah, I do want internet and that's it, and my utilities. What our team does is we will ask them detailed questions on what they are planning to use their Wi-Fi for. A lot of people don't really realize is that if a homeowner is working from home, has kids are gaming, multiple devices, some people just don't know what they need. And so that's what our team is there really to do, is just to educate them. If Owen said, I'm a single guy, I don't work from home, I got a couple devices, we're not going to sell them and offer really 1 gig or anything that size, because they don't really need that. Maybe if he has 300 megabit speed with Cox or 300 with Spectrum, then that's what we would recommend. At the end of the day, however, though, if Owen is going to tell our rep that, hey, I'd like to 1 gig, then that's what we're going to set them up with. The reason I tell you this, though, is because we don't want you to feel that our team is going to be there to try to sell them on something they don't need. Our reps do not get paid and are incentivized any different, whether they set up a Cox or 30 megabit speed or a 5 gig with AT&T. They are solely there to just educate and provide them, hey, here are all of your options. Here are all the packages. Here's first year pricing over second year pricing. Who do you want? Once your customer has selected which package they want to go with for internet, TV, whatever it is, our team then takes all of the information, gets it over to our processing department. Processing does exactly what it sounds like. They're going to process all of the orders, send a confirmation email with the installation date and turn on dates for the utilities to the homeowner. And then you as an agent will also be CC'd on all of the communication. So you can, in advance before going to the 11th hour, whether Owen did get everything set up or if Owen didn't get everything set up. The other thing is too, for homeowners is, let's say they don't answer on our first call, they will receive an email with a link to a shop on your own. So if a customer does decide they want to do everything on their own and not even speak to us, we do have a platform for homeowners to take advantage of. It kind of goes through the same exact experience at White Glove, where it's going to ask them questions. What do you plan on using your Wi-Fi for? How many devices? And then it curates recommendations based on their answers. Again, they pick and choose their package, submit the orders, and then they're done. It's important for you to know as an agent, though, in order for us to set up, whether it's internet, a utility, a lot of the providers will require us to collect date of birth, social, credit card for the deposits and things like that. I tell you this because one thing that happens a lot is when we do make our outreach to the homeowner, one of the first things that happens is they think this is a scam. Like, who in their right mind is calling me, going to do this for free? There's no charge. And now they're asking for all my PII information, their credit card and stuff. So if you do get that call, rest assured your customer's information is secure. It's double password protected, double firewall protected, and only about 3 people in the entire company can ever have access to that data. If and once we place their orders. However, after 60 days of the completion of the order, that information gets auto purged out of our database. So the credit card information, social, date of birth, and things like that are never shared and ever stored with anybody. And your customer's information is never shared. Their first name and email address and phone numbers. We do not share that. We do not sell your customer data to anybody ever. We are authorized retailers for every major provider across the United States. So everything is done in-house on about a 20 to 25-minute phone call. So we don't have to outsource it to all the internet providers and TV providers and whomever it is that they selected, and then they got to reach out to them. Everything is done internally. They get an email confirmation. Your homeowner is done.
Nice.
And if I could add to that, working with Earl and Brian, we have sent a co-branded flyer that I'm sure the agents, you guys and gals will be seeing that, where you can introduce this program to your home buyers. You know, we always like to let the agents know that if you let the home buyer know that this service is free and it's coming their way, as Dan kind of mentioned it before, they're not blindsided. They know where, you know, where that information is coming from. They know that One Source Home Connections is going to be reaching out on behalf of Phoenix Real Estate Group. So that is something that, you know, I want to make sure that y'all know, that just letting them know that the service is coming their way. It's a great service, makes the process that much easier and much smoother, and makes the home buyers that much happier.
And my thought was, Owen, is that we do a full-on buyer consultation with the buyers in the beginning. So
Okay.
I once we get to the part after closing, I normally share with them that our transaction coordinator, Aaron, will be sending out a list of utility companies that are closest to you, or that fits your demographic, so that you can call them. So that's part of the buyer consultation. So now, instead of saying that, we'll say, you know, we partner with a concierge service, One Source, and they're going to be calling you to help you set these things up. So it's just going to be a different approach at the very end of our buyer consultation.
I love it. That's fantastic.
So,
Couldn't be planned out any better.
yeah,
Thank
and
you.
she's not on the call this morning, but our transaction coordinator, Aaron, was super excited about this, because she's normally about a week or two before closing, she'll send out a list of all the utilities, and of course the clients would have to call and get them all set up. But now this, you know, and with that being said, Owen, I know I reached out to you the other day, and you were telling me about the lead time that we need in order to make that happen. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we need a minimum of 2 weeks, right? That gives us plenty of time to research and reach out to your customer and get everything set up. The last thing we want, I just got it this morning, and unfortunately I had to, you know, turn it away, because I had an agent call this morning and said, hey, I have somebody closing tomorrow. Unfortunately, utilities companies will not let us represent the home buyer, you know, after the closing. Dan, am I speaking?
Yeah, no, you're
correctly?
right. Yeah, typically 2 weeks is our deal. Now, if you do get us a referral within 5 days of closing, we can probably assist. Our ideal spot is at 2 week time. Now, when you get within about a 3 to 2 day window and you're like, oh shoot, I forgot, you can reach out to Owen, let us know that, hey, I forgot this one. You guys didn't get them. They are closing in 2 days. We can still reach out and try to do as much as we can for them. Just know that our hands may be tied due to the utility providers and policies in place. But yeah, 2 weeks is definitely our ideal sweet spot. But if it is under 2 weeks, do know we can still assist.
Okay.
All right, Dan, Owen, I have a question for users. What's their interface like? Is it on an app, or is it be desktop? And can they watch it through an app, or what your progress is?
Everything's done through a phone call. So everything we do is via phone with our representatives. However, again, what is sent out to the home buyer, let's say Owen is a customer again, we reach out, he doesn't answer, we leave him a voicemail. In that email is an introduction email of who we are while we are reaching out, and a link. So if they don't want to just call us back, they can use our portal, and you all could go to it. I will, where's the chat in here? Chat. I will type it in here for everybody. It's just shop.osconnects.com. So you guys can all go to this link and experience it yourself and see what the customer will look like. And but typical process is over the phone. Everything is done on about a 20-minute phone call with them. So if we reach out to Owen and he's like, hey, this isn't a good time for me, I'm at work, but hey, I want to use it, we just schedule an appointment then for a better time that works for Owen. And we just let them know, it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to go through everything, and then you're done.
Okay.
Did you get that in the chat by chance?
I did, sir.
Yeah, okay, perfect.
So some of the things I really liked about it ultimately is just, the fact that it is more of a customer assessment tool. I mean, before you just sell something to a client or go through it, you assess what their needs are. And that's kind of what we do on our end. And sometimes with our clients from a customer service standpoint, we also don't want to refer people that are going to be harassing them, because after they close on the house, they get thousands of phone calls from people harassing them. So I kind of like the thought that we're going to kind of give a warm handoff, so that when you're calling, they know exactly who you are. And that, you said if you reach out to them a few times and you don't get them, then you kind of, that's their way of saying you're not interested. They're not interested.
Exactly.
So,
And if they end up calling us back later after we made our final attempt, it's totally fine.
right.
We just, like Earl said, once we've reached out 2 to 3 times, it depends on when we receive the lead. Our ideal is 3 contacts in 3 weeks. But if we get it within 2 weeks, it will only probably contact them twice. So after that second or third attempt, we mark that customer lost. They're never contacted. We don't retarget customers for anything. Again, we don't sell your customer data to anybody. So rest assured, no one else has access to your data.
Okay.
I have an additional question.
Sure.
And we have lots of partners that are not just in Arizona. Is there a referral program or something that we can do to help get your guys' name out there? Or is there something that we can help you with, especially with our agents in New Mexico, California, Colorado? And now I've just made some friends in Hawaii. So I was just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, we cover nationwide, so we can service anybody pretty much anywhere that's domestic, even international coming in to the United States.
Okay.
Nice. Let's see. Does anyone have any questions for Owen or Dan?
Maria and Eric did join, but I know Eric's at work, so he'll probably hit us up with questions later.
Yeah, that's fine. All right. Owen, Dan, is there anything else we should know?
That's all I got.
I think you guys covered.
We're looking
everything.
forward to
That was
working
great.
with you guys.
And
Yeah,
we will
my
be
questions
emailing
here.
and forwarding the flyer.
Yeah, so I just sent the flyer to Brian right now. And again, once we start doing, we'll incorporate that in our buyer consultations, just so the buyers will have it right up front, so we can get it to you within that 2-week time frame that's needed. It's so funny. So I had a closing yesterday, and Owen, that's the one I called you about like 2 days ago.
Right.
And I when I was doing the final walkthrough with them, I told him, and he was like, "Well, we got everything set up." And I was like, yeah, I just wanted to see if this is a service that you would use as a client. And I said, he said, how much does it cost? I said, it doesn't cost you anything. And then he's like, oh yeah, sign me up. I'm in. And I said, oh,
Next time that they move.
Right. So fortunately, he had already set everything up. But as a client who gave me some feedback that this is something that he would have used. So, as we have our clients getting set up,
that's fantastic.
Definitely be sending them your way.
All right, you got it. And I know you mentioned, is it Erin?
Erin, yes.
Yeah. If she's got any questions, I know she couldn't be here today. She has any questions, or if she wants to sit with Dan and I virtually, we'd be more than happy to plug her in and clue her in.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Like I said, she's the one that normally sends out the information to all the clients, and and she has it out to them well before closing to give them a chance to kind of get everything switched over. So she was praising you guys, like this would be awesome.
Awesome. We love to hear that.
That's good. So excited about the partnership.
Yeah, I have a closing in 3 weeks. I'll make sure it's all taken care of with you.
There you go.
Perfect, Brian. Appreciate you.
You guys have been great. I look forward to this continued partnership and getting up and running. And thank you guys for the information and just being that partner for us. So
absolutely, we appreciate it as well.
Yeah, and next time you're out in Phoenix, we'll definitely have to get together. I know you guys are
playing some golf.
Yeah,
I didn't get golf. I didn't even get to play this last time. So we're getting around to golf in.
Yeah,
that would make me feel so.
Yeah,
sick to the stomach.
Right. Well, the Phoenix didn't play. Yeah, so next time.
Absolutely. We appreciate it, guys. Thank you guys so much.
All right, take
Talk
care.
To you soon.
Bye, guys.
All right, see you. Bye.
All right. So I'm excited about that partnership. Hopefully everyone is. This will be a great way to continue to support our clients. If you look at our customer service scores across the board, all of us are 5 stars across the board. And I think this is another way to increase that level of service for our clients and just providing a different thing for them. Maria, my mic and camera aren't on. Can
That's
you see
okay.
it? Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, but you can hear us, right? Okay.
Very cool.
If you have any questions, you can type them in there, or you can give us a call later.
Like, to just summarize, the service that they do is it's free to us. It helps elevate our customer service appearance because a company is going to take over some of those stressful things that they got to take care of while they're moving into their new house and moving out of their old house. And how they make their money is they have arrangements with the companies, and then our clients don't have to pay for a thing.
Yep.
So
Perfect. Excuse me, I think we got someone at our door. So Brian is going to be talking about Debo Media and how that can help you all throughout your marketing. So I'll be right back.
yeah. So here we go. So Debo Media, obviously, that's me in the corner there. Debo Media, long story short, was another company called Creatively Awesome for the last 6 years. I branched off and started my own, and just mostly focused on just agent support. Previously, Creatively Awesome was very into marketing for other companies. We were able to help companies like T-Mobile, I think a couple radio stations. We even did a Pepsi commercial. But now Debo Media specifically is just supporting real estate agents and basically small companies that market on social medias, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn. But I found a niche, and it makes sense. I mean, I've been doing real estate for 15 years. I did lending for 6 before that. So the evolving marketing business is just going to be focusing on real estate for now. So some of the products that Debo Media has recently been getting into is, if you haven't seen any of the videos, is we're doing a ton of AI videos, kind of in a way of just helping and fixing some ads or marketing that you may have missed out on. So if you're an agent and you did a listing and you forgot to have Rocket Lister add a walkthrough video, I could take care of that for you digitally through AI. If you have a listing that is vacant and you're just not being able to sell it, your views are down, you're not getting any showings, for minimal cost, I could actually have it staged and actually have a walkthrough video created for it. Obviously, it's just additional effort for you as an agent to get your listing viewed, and I can do it in the format so that your socials can be supported either on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, in landscape and profile format. A whole bunch of technical talk, but basically it's just going to get more eyes on your listing and also be able to help you get more listings, because you'll be able to show your future sellers that you're doing whatever you can to sell your listings.
So Brian, I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you know off the top of your head what that statistic is? There is a statistic out there that says that with the listing photos, like a certain amount of people will look at the photos, but if it's moving or it's in a video format, like a phenomenal more amount of people will look at it. I don't know the number off the top of my head. I'm not sure if you do, but it just shows the importance of the videos as opposed to just the pictures.
Well, that's interesting fact. It's in the 70% higher range, but it's also the number of time. It's not just the click-throughs or the views, which a lot of platforms just say, oh, this was viewed by 30,000 people. The videos allows there to be a measurement of time. The time that they're watching the videos is more important. Time for your content to be out there, your name to be seen, is more important than just views or reactions. The time that they're spending watching as you put out more content out there, the more time you spend with somebody, the more you're going to be the resource that they are for real estate. Now, these AI videos aren't very long, but they're in short form. I can make them longer for longer videos, but the algorithm loves videos that are 25 to 30 seconds long. Those are the ones that get the most time, and people go click into the profile and see more about what you're doing. So that's what we're going to be focusing on right now. But the packages that we are offering are come in long format, vertical, profile, and short. So meaning between 20 to 60-second videos, and you get it all branded and marketed towards yourself. One of the other things is for the agents that do take some of the more monthly packages that we offer, we handle all the posts for you. So you don't have to worry about it. I have a drive or an app that's for each client. They keep me in tune with what's going on with their buyer and seller sides, what's under contract, and then I'm able to do social media posts for you throughout the entire process from beginning to end and reviews. So,
Nice.
so like some of the other videos that you may have been seeing, Anderson was just pushed out. I think Eric did one of the reels for me on his social medias. That home was completely vacant, and I was able to put in some virtual staging and created a video walkthrough. And on my social media platforms, in 1 week, it's already over 14,000 views.
Wow.
So, it may not get a renter right away, but I know tons of people are looking at it. And that's also organic traffic without any money being paid to Facebook.
Wow.
So in those videos that we've been doing, I've been, when you go to a Rocket Lister or Lister Assist or any of those other platforms, a lot of the photos they do is just normal photos. If you want to schedule a twilight photo session, you got to ask your seller or your client, can I have access to the property 6, 7 o'clock at night? It's maybe an inconvenience to your family, but it gets me that extra look that a lot of other agents aren't doing. Go ahead and do your regular photos during the day. I'll turn them into night. It's really easy for AI to do. It's not an inconvenience, and it's part of the packages that we offer. And it also just gets your listings viewed, rather than the 300 other listings in the area. Yours will stand out. Like I said, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, handling all of that for a lot of clients. There are packages that don't even have that, but at least you could have that option for us to help you. What has been a big passion of mine is building websites and doing SEO support. So if you're an agent that doesn't have an online presence and you would like one, so that if somebody were to get your business card or if you got referred to somebody and your name comes up, it's cheaper than Rocket Lister, Maria. Rocket Lister, Maria had a question of what our prices are compared to Rocket Lister. I'm not a photographer, so I want you to use Rocket Lister to get the photos and get your sign put up and your lockbox installed. I can use their photos to create the twilight photos and the video walkthrough. My least expensive package is $79. I believe the video walkthrough alone with Rocket Lister is $120. So mine's $79, and I'll do more than what they're offering. And all of these videos and all of these content that you're creating needs to go into something like an IDX website, which is then if it's like a circle and you have all of these spider webs all going to the middle of the circle where the spider grabs the insect, whatever it's eating, all of these branches need to come from YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and they all feed that center portion, right? So, but you need people to know where to go. So when somebody gives you or somebody refers you, what do we all do whenever somebody gives us somebody to look up or to see what they're going to do? You're going to do it with your doctor. You're going to do it with your lawyers. A home purchase is the largest financial investment a lot of people are going to go through in their life. They're going to Google you as an agent. They're going to find out if you have reviews, if you've been linked in this business for a long time. They're going to try to find out whatever they can. So for an agent, the Google business profile is a must. Even if you don't do it through me, every one of you should have a Google business profile. It could be Eric Scales Realty, through Google, Maria's. You should all have one, and then we'll show you how to make sure it's all, what is it, compliant. But you should have one of those, an IDX website, which, if you didn't know, through GoDaddy, per month is less than $60, and that includes hosting the site on GoDaddy and having an IDX platform so that people can search homes through your MLS on your site. It's not that expensive per month, but creating it all up front is a little bit of a fee. I can go into that individually if anybody wants to look into that. It's not overly expensive, but then it is your place for you to be able to point people to market your own personal business. Agent branding and marketing, headshots, profile branding, listing marketing materials. We already do that. We've all been doing it. But it's just more of a higher level now with the other technology that I'm able to incorporate. Basically, I think I have about 19 agents through the brokerages that I'm helping, our brokerage, a couple other ones, and it's evolving, it's getting bigger, and it's getting more fun for me. And I want to make sure that everybody gets seen, especially with their spheres and their friends and family. And I wish I had the numbers to show you, but it's kind of a nerdy thing. It seems like the more people get involved with some marketing in some way, your business starts to take off. So if that's something that you're thinking about doing, second quarter, third quarter, even next year, let's just start thinking about what we can do to get your stuff going. That's about it.
I agree, Maria. And fortunately, I get to sit in the office sometimes with Brian as he's talking to some of the clients that he has. And there's a couple of them that are pretty big Scottsdale agents and brokerages. And while they're closing a lot of homes and multi-million-dollar homes, I've seen their business explode since Debo Media has taken over the marketing side for them. So as Brian was launching it, and I know he was a little hesitant, like, I don't know how many people I can take on. But he wanted to introduce this to our agents just because he's working with other brokerages right now and their agents. But I think this amount of marketing and what he's doing could really enhance all of us, from the social media side, but also the videos. So as you all know me, videos has not been my strong point. But now I'm seeing that there's a way to do a video where I don't even have to be a part of it. And if I wanted to, I could, or I can do a voiceover. There's so many other options out there that I didn't even think were possible. So for those of us that are like me, that are a little bit more shy on video, there's other options for you still to get your listing seen and to get yourself out there. So Brian, I think it's awesome what you're doing with Debo. And,
Thank you, sir.
I know it's been a labor of love for you. So, I just hope everyone can take advantage of it. And if you know other agents too, talk to them about it, because everyone's out there trying to expand their marketing reach. So.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Maria.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we're going to get into something that's not so fun, but it's more on the training side of our meeting. So I don't know if many of you know, but I've been going through the brokerage CE courses over the last couple of weeks, and both online, and I did one in person, and one it was like a Google Meets. And what I came across is some things that I want to kind of discuss with you today, and a part of it has to do with the water here in Arizona. I call this section water, 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 because there was a full CE class about understanding the water and what's going on in Arizona. Does anyone know anything in particular that is going on here in this year in 2026 with the water in Arizona?
I think I saw something on the news where some legal contracts are up in the air, whether or not Arizona is going to get the right amount of water that they normally get.
That's correct. So October of 2026, the legislation that's currently in place that gives Arizona water from the Colorado River is expiring. And what has to happen is the states have to come to an agreement with like who gives the most water back or who reduces their water levels to a certain point. Well, unfortunately, Arizona has junior water rights to California. So those states that are included are Arizona, California, Nevada, Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, New Mexico. All these 7 states depend on the Colorado River water. Arizona has junior rights to California. Believe it or not, California uses less water than Arizona, according to kind of what we're seeing here. So if the states, as of October of 2026, if the states don't come to an agreement, then Arizona will likely lose an additional 18% of the water that we're getting from the Colorado River. Understanding that 37% of the entire the state of Arizona gets their water from the Colorado River. If we have to reduce that by 18%, it ultimately is going to affect us all who live here. But for those of us that are in the real estate industry, it's going to affect us in 2 different ways. Because not only are we residents, so we're going to see our water bills go up, but as real estate agents, we have to learn how to educate our clients when they ask those questions. I've had the last 3 clients that I work with, especially the ones that are coming from out of state, are asking what's going to happen to the water in Arizona. So I just wanted to be sure that we were all aware of kind of what was going on so that we can have an informative conversation with our clients as they ask, because the question is going to come up. So some of the things that I have here, when we talk about the current water rules, the interim guidelines and drought contingency plan, that's what they call it. And it's ultimately how water is being released from the reservoirs at Lake Mead and Lake Powell. The shortages are shared between the states, and I just mentioned the states that are on there. That as of right now, there has been no agreement to what's going to happen. So Arizona, the governor of Arizona has recommended that we reduce our water by 27%, but the other states are rejecting that proposal. So they want actually more of a reduction than 27%. That's quite a bit of a reduction, I think. Not yet. I'm working on that. I will have a script that will give you, that I can give you to kind of give you just a kind of a couple one-liners if clients ask you. So that's a great question, Maria. That is something that I will have to you though. Haven't created it yet though. So it says here, if the agreement is not reached by October of 26, the federal government may step in and they may force water reductions. And there may be lawsuits that you see between the states and a federally imposed allocation plan. So the federal government will tell Arizona how much water they can use. What happens when that happens? They're saying that ultimately the taps won't run dry. We're not running out of water. It's just the way that we're allocating. So we may see higher water bills. We may see reduced irrigation for farms and also residences.
Golf courses.
What's that?
The golf courses.
Golf courses, absolutely. California has that now, though, where they can only water their lawns a couple days out of the week. They can't water them like every day, or they'll be fined. So we may see things like that. Maria, we're going there. She's on it this morning. We're going to talk about how we can educate our clients on saving water, but that's one of them, the desert landscaping. We'll see more groundwater pumping. The limit on new housing developments in some areas, and I'll circle back to that because right now, in order for a developer to build, they have to have a 100-year plan for water in order for a developer to build. Well, if we know that groundwater pumping is being reduced and we know that the amount of water we're getting here in Arizona is going to be less, then it's going to limit the amount of builders that can build without that 100-year water allocation. It says here, because of the uncertainty of the Colorado River, Possible things that Arizona scientists are exploring is ocean desalination in Mexico. So they're going to take the salt water out of the ocean water and try to reuse it. Importing water from other basins that is not the Colorado River. Recycled water system. Brian, you mentioned the golf courses. Those golf courses use a recycled water system where they recycle the water to water the golf courses. Not all of them, but the ones that hit me in that eye the day that you and I were playing, that was definitely recycled water.
I didn't want you to bring it up, man. You didn't have to bring it.
I had to get an antibiotic to kill that stuff in my eye. But so the question is, as agents, because some of the things I had was, so how do we talk to our clients about this water and what can we do? So some of the things we may see is that in the next 5 to 20 years as agents, water is going to be one of the biggest forces that we're going to have to deal with. It said it won't stop the growth in the near term, but it'll change the homes and how they're being built and where they're being built. Also, the cost of them, which they'll become more valuable. When I say value, I'm talking about resale homes. So the first thing that's going to be tough is new construction will be harder to approve. So one of the impacts is going to be the subdivisions. As I mentioned, Arizona requires developers to prove a 100-year water supply in order to build these subdivisions. It says in parts of Metro Phoenix, this is from realtor.com, the state has already restricted new development on relying on groundwater. So areas around Buckeye, Queen Creek, they saw the water supply issues a while back. Developers now must find an alternative way to source the water. Real estate impact, there's going to be fewer subdivisions built. So what does that mean for your resale homes? The prices are going to go up because they already have the water supplies there. Longer development timeline. So right now, I know there's a Lennar build right at the 101 in Thomas. Build time is about 6 months. Well, that's going to increase because ultimately the process is going to take a little bit longer for the builders. Builders are going to be paying more for water rights. So that's where the funds come in. So when builders pay more for their parts and water rights, what happens to the consumer? They're going to pay more for the houses because it's going to cost the builders more to build them. Less housing supply overall, and it says that push prices higher for existing homes because those water rights will be there. Go ahead, Brian.
When we go to a new build, they always present the public report.
Yep.
This is where you need, as an agent, to be very cognizant of having our client review it and not just skim through it and just be too excited about the deal that they're getting for the house. The public report is what the builder got proof from the state that they're going to be able to got approved. The water rights and are in place. So it's not something that we should be speaking as an authority. It's just like everything else. We provide them where the information's at, and it allows you to know that they got the right information. And if they want to go into it deeper with that, they could do their own due diligence and find more research into that source.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we are definitely not the expert, and we'll create enough of some type of one-liners for you to be able to answer the questions. But if they have additional questions, we have to refer them to more professional on that.
Maria had a question. Will it also affect those that have well water?
It could. So those are established water lines, and well water. I don't think that's groundwater. It could be. I would have to double check that, but well water is typically already established lines. They're talking about new lines for the builders. If anything, Maria, the cost may go up. But that's a good question.
Desert Hills, some areas up here. TSMC is a huge issue for a lot of people because of the amount of water that they're going to be taking, and then the amount of homes that they're going to be building around the 2 plants now that are going to be around the 303.
Yep.
So I've been to the village planning meetings where it's a huge issue. And it's something everybody's looking at, but guess what? The federal government and the state put billions of dollars into this. It's just going to it's going to happen and all of us have to kind of work around it.
Yeah. Well, the data centers use a lot of water, and we're going to talk a little bit about that as a way, as another reason why the water is the way that it is here in Arizona. And so it says water costs are going to rise. So Arizona historically has cheap water, but that's going to be changing. Water bills will rise faster than inflation because of the infrastructure needs and the replacements. Water may need to be imported or treated differently. And of course, we're always looking for new sources of water. So let's see. This is from realtor.com. It says one water official said replacing current water supplies could cost up to 10 times more in the future. So to answer the question about the well, I'm really not sure like how that will be affected just yet. But I'm going to get you that answer, Maria. So higher utility costs for homeowners is going to affect our clients. HOA costs may rise if they're taking care of the common areas. So you may see that. And some developments may require expensive water systems, like the water saving type systems. So what can we do when we're talking to our clients about water conservation? Maria, I know you mentioned desert landscaping. There's a few other things that homeowners can do. Believe it or not, homeowners don't use the most of the water. Right now, it's our agriculture here in Arizona, and it's going to be the data centers. But what are some of the things that our homeowners can do to conserve water? Desert landscaping is definitely one of them.
Maintain their pool equipment.
Maintain their pool equipment is another one.
Shower once a week.
I wouldn't recommend that for your own sake while you're out with these clients. But there's energy efficient toilets, energy efficient faucets. Again, the desert landscaping is huge. Use turf instead of the grass that you have to water. But I think the energy efficiency appliances might be another one. Your dishwasher that uses less water. Items like water softeners allow you to use less. I guess that's less soap than water, but I'm trying to think of anything else that is water efficient at your house. That's all I can think of right now.
I don't know. I remember being lectured when I was younger.
This water heat, this one. Yep.
Yeah, there you go. I got lectured one time living in Arrowhead by a neighbor because I was hosing off my driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I was a lot younger then. I was like, it's my water. I paid for it. Leave me alone, right? So I'm like, get off my lawn, old man. But maybe as an older person now compared to then, I kind of understand.
Right.
But I kind of wanted to ask, is this going to be a huge issue for a lot of people moving here? If they're moving here, there's a lot more pluses compared to some of the other states and what they're going through. Is there a huge water issue? Like Earl said, the water's not going to come out, is not going to stop coming out. It's just going to get a little bit more expensive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So don't let this be a doom and gloom and kind of like discourage. It's not going to be a huge issue for a lot of people. It's just more information for us to be able to, when the question comes up, for us to be able to say, here's what we think, here's a response. And like, it's like, if it's such a huge issue, a lot of people aren't leaving.
Yeah.
So,
well, and they're still building, as you can see, they're still building. And they talked about the markets here. Some of the stronger markets are going to be Phoenix, Scottsdale, Chandler, Gilbert, Peoria. It says these cities have the long cap water allocations already. So again, those Buckeyes and the Tonopahs, they're trying to get them, but these cities already have them. Chandler actually has a water recycle system in place right now. And you'll see more of the cities adopting those. So it says certain areas could slow down, like rural desert communities. That's Tonopah. We just talked about that. And some of the West Valley expansions, just because it's harder for those builders to obtain the water rights in some of those, and it's expensive. So Existing home we talked about that, may become a little bit more valuable because they already have a water source. And so you may see your resale homes costing more because of that. So analysis warned that water shortages could limit new construction and raise the value of existing homes. So that could be coming. That's a positive for us, though.
Imagine, so currently we always get buyers that want to ask, hey, can I see your electricity bill?
Yeah.
It's just another thing for us to disclose
Absolutely.
later on what their water bill is with a pool or
Yep.
with 4 people, 5 people in the home, 6-bedroom house, it's just another thing that we got to disclose or share. Yes, baby. Do I have scissors? Go ahead, Earl. Sorry.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Scissors.
So we talked about some of the other uses of water. Right now, as I mentioned, agriculture is our biggest one here in Arizona. 70 to 75% of Arizona water is used for agriculture. The cities actually use far less. So while we're doing our small parts to save our home buyers, these are some of the things we're going to be talking to them about. I mean, fortunately, Arizona does create food and have agriculture, but it takes water to do that. The technology industry will be competing for water. They're building these data centers like nobody's business right now. And it says here, data centers use millions of gallons of water every day. So they're ultimately trying to figure out a way to recycle that water too, in order to allow the data centers to use the water over and over again. But it does create the competition between the housing industry, the actual work industry, and then the agriculture industry, because this is another component of business that is using water. So as I mentioned, the last thing that realtor said was that Arizona is not running out of water. Phoenix has planned their water supply decades ago. The canal delivers water across the state. Cities recycled water heavily. I mentioned the water recycling in Chandler that we have right now. And right now, agriculture uses more water. I'm not really sure how we're going to change that because we need the agriculture. So as we're talking to our clients, it's just a matter of having these points, like more like we're educated on what's happening here, but they don't have to worry about the taps running dry anytime soon. There is a plan in place for the water to continue. It looks like what may be happening at the end of the year is simply just a change in regulation. And we may be getting less water from the main source that we've been having for years. But who knows? At the last minute, the states could come up with a resolution and we just go back to what we were. I mean, right now, Arizona has already taken an 18% cut. They want us to take a 27. Well, they offered a 27% cut. We're already at 18 right now. And it was rejected by the bordering states. So we'll see what happens in October, but I know the closer we get to it, we'll probably see it a lot more on the news here in Arizona. And the Department of Real Estate actually held a class on this, which I attended last week. And it was like, these are the things that we need to know about what's happening here with water as we're out here trying to sell real estate. So
And
go ahead, Brian.
just because we're talking about it, and I know your phones are next to you, the Google and the YouTube algorithms and Instagram algorithms, you're just going to hear or see a bunch of clickbait kind of things that are just saying, oh, move out of Arizona. There's going to run out of water. That's just how people are with social media. So just be warned.
We're not running out of water. Some things you will probably see is that existing homeowners will likely see higher prices in their water. Established neighborhoods or resale homes, you'll probably see the neighborhoods becoming a little bit more valuable than the new homes because of the prices. Timelines for new developments may change a little bit because it might take a little bit longer. Higher water costs will be projected in those public reports that Brian mentioned earlier. And then there's stricter regulations that we're going to see coming, which I mentioned California has that right now. My mother and father-in-law, they have a full lawn in their front yard and they can only water it twice a week. And I noticed when I go over there now, the lawn is dying. And he mentioned possibly putting turf in the front yard now because of the limited water they can use. And I don't know how they monitor it, but I'm sure they have ways of monitoring. Maybe people drive the neighborhoods to see, how many times you water your lawn. I'm not really sure. But I can see those regulations taking effect in the places that we're going to be having the water issues, which we're one of them. So it says for agents, you look for the areas with their strong water portfolio: North Phoenix, Scottsdale, Chandler, Gilbert, Peoria. They're already established areas where water is. So you'll see a lot of activity going on out there. So if you want to put that billboard up in Peoria where the TSMC site is, Brian, that might be an opportunity for you.
Yep.
And there's how many homes going off the 303 here in the next few years?
Pulte's is said it's going to start in 2028, 19,000 units.
19,000 units. So that tells me that Pulte already has a 100-year water plan in place. So that might be an opportunity for us as agents to start to market ourselves in the next few years in that area so people know who we are.
Yeah.
So any questions about water and understanding what's going on? Maria, I will have a one-liner for you prepared, and then I'll find out the question about the well water for everyone too, and I'll send it out once I get the answer to that. But any other questions? I know it was a lot. It was a lot for me over the last few weeks, just reading and freaking myself out. Like, are we gonna run out of water? And then eventually I got to the point where I was like, you know what? We're not going to run out. It just might cost a little bit more going forward. So, okay. So couple real estate trends that are going on right now. We talked about the videos and the marketing, and people are online showcasing houses. I've seen agents go out to the new builds and they're doing videos on the new builds. That seems to be a trend right now. The voiceovers have become a new trend in the marketing side. Brian, is there any other marketing trends that you've seen out there that I'm missing?
I don't know if it's just because I'm doing AI, but AI is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to dive into it, there's a lot of content out there on how to do it. The thing that I love about it is it's a shortcut and you can get more stuff out. So while a lot of agents that we know are going out and filming and then editing or paying people to do all of those things, AI can make your life a lot easier. And remember, it all comes back down to the 33 touch.
Yeah.
You gotta have your sphere, your friends, your family, your have not mets. They need to see your name or see something from you 33 times a year for them to consider you an agent. And that's just a written rule in real estate since the 80s. So it hasn't changed. Actually, it's probably increased now because of the number of agents that more people are connected to. I think it's more of like a 36 touch, but if you could use AI to save time so you can be with your family, then I encourage you to do it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And ultimately I've been seeing that a lot too. You know, not the physical going out and doing the homes. Well, some agents are doing that, but using AI to kind of fill that gap and still put content out there. Some of the things that I've been seeing on the other side is the interest rates. So we've seen interest rates drop down over the last few weeks, and then we see them go back up. But there's a ton of programs out there. So if you have buyers right now, I would say get with your local or your favorite real estate agent, Lily. Get with your favorite real estate. Your favorite loan officer, and ask them what are they offering for the clients. As interest rates are going up, I've been seeing more and more programs come out there. Down payment assistance program. I just talked to a friend of mine in California. Unfortunately, it wasn't for Arizona, but I referred them to people in California. They had a program where they'll give them up to $120,000 for down payment and closing costs, partially because of the pricing in California. But it's a 3-year program. You have to live in the house for 3 years, and then it's forgiven. It's a lottery type program. But they had $300 million that they're giving out to people that put their name in this lottery. So with that being said, I have been talking to a couple of the lenders that we have, and there's similar programs. Dan still has the program, the CRA program. If the home is in a certain area, then the bank can offer a certain percentage towards the closing costs. Like it was 1.75 points towards the closing costs for the clients if the home is in a certain area. And then if the buyer has a certain income qualification, there's certain income qualifications required. But what we're seeing, a lot of the buyers right now are looking for those programs. So I think it behooves us to kind of know what the ones are out there so that we can refer them to the right person. That's the reason why we have multiple lenders, because if one lender may not have a program that another one might have for the buyer, it might work. So I've seen that as real estate trends. People are putting that on social media. You can buy this house for $2,000 a month, and in the head of the agent, they're like, we have a lender that can make this happen for that, amount. So, yeah, those are just a few. I feel like the buyers are coming back to the market. I think over the last year, when the interest rates went above 6.5%, a lot of the buyers said, well, we're going to wait. But I think they're coming to the reality that we're never going to see those 3% again. And we want to buy houses, because ultimately what's happening is the prices of the houses are going up, interest rates are going up, and the longer they wait, the more they pay. So I think the buyers are coming back. So it might be a great opportunity for you to reach back out to the buyers that you had, or the ones that were on the fence, especially if you can link them up with an agent or with a loan officer that can give them a down payment assistance program, or deals off the closing, or points that can help them buy down the rate. It might be an opportunity for them. So these are just some of the things that I've been seeing out there.
So with the listings that we have, every offer that's coming in is asking for concessions. So when you do your buyer consultation, always recommend, we're going to ask. We might as well find, because I think listing agents are just, for the last few years, used to seeing it. And if a buyer in a consultation is like, well, I don't have a lot of money to be able to do resale, but I don't want to buy a new build 45 minutes away from where I live, then your consultation is just going, let me do what I do and help you get some money to cover that.
Yeah, I like it. So, ultimately, there's a lot of trends that are out there that are working, and some are not working, but these are the ones that I have said that have been positive. People have been using social media and AI to kind of promote themselves. People have been working closely with the lenders to find out what programs are available for the buyers, and then the buyers are coming back. That they're back out there. They're looking. So why we should be the ones to help them look. I had a buyer just recently who decided to put their search on hold until they paid off some debt. And my search in the MLS continues to send them houses every day. They've already been pre-qualified, but they want to pay off debt before they move into the house. So they continue to see these houses. Well, yesterday I got a call and she said, I think we love this one. So and this is actually a page out of Brian's book. If someone allows you to set them up on a search, don't stop the search, even if they want to stop their search, because they'll continue to see houses, and that search will be rejuvenated. So, and I remember a while back, Brian had shared that with me, because when the client said they weren't interested, I stopped the search. I was like, well, they're not interested. I want to keep sending them this. But Brian's like, oh, what does it hurt to continue to send it to them? So you keep top of mind for these clients. So, so what are you doing to get new leads right now? I think I've ultimately been focusing a lot on my sphere, but I've also been trying to step outside of my box, and I have a certain demographic that I've been looking for. And fortunately, through LinkedIn and some of the contacts that I've met over the years, it's been working. But what type of things are you guys doing to get leads right now?
So 2026 was the year of adjustments for Brian's personal business, my business. I decided I'm not going to try to create a new postcard to send to my sphere. I trusted Nicole's team at Great American to create one and mail it out for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the amount of time that I spent approving that, and the cost to mail it out to 100 of buyers and sellers in my sphere, is less than what I was spending. So
Wow.
I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt that I didn't do it sooner, but it was just more of a prideful kind of thing.
Sure.
And you just got to look for your resources, your partners that are willing to help you and take advantage of it. And I won't go back to creating my own card and then mailing it and getting my own stickers to mail everything and paying for it myself. I sent 100 postcards out that they designed for $60.
Yep.
That's,
Yep.
I could almost double that and it's still less than what I paid for when I was doing it on my own with my own postage. So
And that's through the partnership with Great American Title that you all have
Exactly.
access to, and
Mhm.
Wise Pelican.
Correct.
I have those sent out pretty much every month. And then even the EDDM, the Every Door Direct mailers are going from Wise Pelican. Those you have to pick up. But if you have postcards, like Brian said, $60, he was able to send 100 postcards to his sphere. And all you had to do is approve a design that they created for you. And that is a resource that we have at the brokerage and all of you have access to. You just have to reach out to Nicole. So I think the postcards are a great way to generate leads from the people that already know and love you. And then, of course, I know you've been doing some social media lead generation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else is everyone doing for lead generation?
I've actually reached out to like 5 of my sphere that I know are kind of their own center of influences within their own sphere.
Right.
And I honestly just said, hey man, how can I get in front of all the people that you know? And one of my buddies is a mechanic. One of our buddies is a mechanic, and he hangs out with a pretty large motorcycle crew.
There it is.
So I offered, hey, why don't you invite some of your guys down to Magnum Cigar Lounge
Yep.
and let me buy them a drink?
Yep.
And guess what we're doing in 2 weeks? Hopefully I get in front of about 10 of these motorcycle guys and I'm going to ask them like, hey man, you need a bigger garage? It's time to find another house, maybe a 3-car garage.
Yeah.
You know, let's just have that talk. So these
I
are also people I've never been in contact with.
It's one of those things. They say every person knows at least, was it 100 people? So if every person knows 100 people, even at minimum, that's a lot of people that you can get in front of. And I've been using those resources for a while now. I mean, you know, a couple of my buddies are in the motorcycle clubs. I have Brian and you and I have a good friend that's in a fraternity, and these people have been referring people to me for a long time. But every time I'm in front of these people, I remind them what I do. And it becomes a conversation that we have in a bunch of different settings. So, you know, when you think real estate, you think of me, and I've been fortunate in that way. So, yes, and Maria, I know family is one of the biggest ones. You have 3 transactions coming up from your family. If your family should be promoting you, that's huge. They should be promoting you, and you know, again, use those resources of the people that know and love you already. There's your biggest advocates. I closed a transaction yesterday from a gentleman that was referred to me by another lady that I sold a house to at her church. I never met him before. She said, I referred a guy that goes to church with me to you. He called me. Great couple. We closed on their house yesterday. So today I'm going to go buy a gift card for Tiffany, the original lady that sent there, and send it to her just as a thank you. But it's things like that. Like I would have never thought that Tiffany would have referred me, but I also send Tiffany a postcard, and I send those random text messages when I'm sitting here in the office just to say hi. And social media is a great way to connect to people. If you're connecting, you can just say happy birthday or happy anniversary or congratulations on the baby, and you're connecting with those people. That's another 30. That's part of the 33 touch. You know, it's a good way to connect. So Maria, you said something in the comments. I didn't see it. Can you see it, Brian?
We have to be proactive, not reactive.
100%.
That's what sales is, and
Yep.
we are in sales.
100%. Absolutely. So, well, I'll put something together about different ways to kind of generate lead. And it's always good to talk amongst the colleagues, though, because everyone does it differently. And I mean, you may be doing something that I'm not doing, and I would love to hear it. So maybe I can start doing that as well. Wanted to talk a little bit about the fingerprint clearance card. I feel like I've been beating a dead horse with this thing, but it's pretty serious. Because if you don't have an updated fingerprint clearance card, you technically cannot do real estate in the state of Arizona after this year. So it's become such a big deal that the Phoenix Association of Realtors has put up a what do you call it, like a mobile site at the PAR building on 16th Street that you can go down there and have your fingerprint clearance card taken care of if you don't have an active one. So from Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 11 a.m. and then again in the afternoon from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. You can go down to PAR at 16th Street. It's like 7878 North 16th Street, the PAR building, and have your fingerprints done for $18. Because I think what's going to happen is, as agents, we're going to wait to the last minute because that's what we do, and everyone's going to be bum rushing the what is it, the DPS, what is that, Department of Public Safety, Arizona
The
Department.
sheriffs. I did mine through the sheriffs.
Isn't it the same thing? The department
I
is
think
it?
so.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Public
everyone's
safety.
going to be like rushing them to try to get it done. But so the Phoenix Association is trying to make that happen. That's after you pay $68 to start the process. It did say there was a $30 processing fee if you go through them. That's what it said on the PAR website. It's $18 for the fingerprint card and $30 for the processing. You did it online? Did you have to go there to do your fingerprint though? I think I did mine at like the UPS store, and then I just mailed it in. Okay. So
I went to a lady's house that she has on the side that she's an authorized fingerprint clearance business place, and it was an assisted living home on the other side of the house.
oh wow.
But it was
Was it-
here at Desert Hills. It was closer to my house, so
Do you don't remember how much it cost?
no.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I did, Eric. I took the fingerprints at UPS and then took it to the UPS. But PAR is doing it right now for those that might need that. So it's available to you. So I wanted
It's not
to
too
just,
far. 16th Street in Northern. If you got to
Yeah.
do it, get it done. And then go to Ant. What is that place? The Mexican restaurant right across the street from it. It's really good.
enchiladas.
There you go. Earl and I will meet you there.
Yeah, you let us know when you're going. I'll be there. Yeah, that place is delicious. So yeah, make sure we're doing that just so we're not falling behind on our fingerprint clearance cards. And then the very last thing, it looks like we might wrap up a little early. The very last thing I want to talk about is just kind of give a few awards and celebrations because we haven't seen each other in a while. We had a mishap for our holiday party, and then the happy hour. It's spring break for a lot of people, so people were out of town and people were at work, so we canceled that for now. But I did want to give some acknowledgments. So this year we're actually off to a really good start as a group. So we've currently closed in just the first quarter 8 transactions for $3.9 million. In the next month, we have another 6 that are scheduled to close for another $2 million. Brian, since we've been open the last 3 years, I don't know if we've ever started the first quarter this strong. So I'm extremely excited about that. Last year we had a celebration that we never got to do because we didn't end up doing the holiday party. But I wanted to congratulate Hannah on winning the Rookie of the Year award for last year for 2025. So we do have a trophy here for Hannah for when we see her. We'll make sure that she gets that. And we look forward to, again, just continuous growth. Brian and I have been pounding our heads against the glass, just how to make it better and how to make you guys get more business. And anything we can do to support you, we're here. Call, text, email us anytime. Stop by the office because we spend a lot of time here. But we have some exciting things happening this year. I feel like with the introduction to OneSource and the things that Debo Media can do for us now, there's just a lot of opportunities out there to enhance your business. And ultimately, that's our ultimate goal, is to help you enhance your business. So if there's anything we can do to help, let us know. I know Eric Scales has a golf tournament coming up. I don't know, Eric, if you guys need volunteers or things like that. I think we have we're sponsoring one of the holes. So I know we'll I don't know. And then we're sponsoring on the whole, but if you need volunteers or anything like that, Eric, let us know, and we see who's available.
Yeah, we need all of it.
Okay.
We're gonna be on the hole-in-one hole. So
Nice.
Phoenix Real Estate Group.
love
I'll need a sign from you guys,
Yep.
like an A-frame to put out there. But yeah, it's May 2nd.
So we're excited about that. And so
One more person to congratulate, by the way.
go for it.
Mr. Scales closed his first sale last
That's
week.
right. That is right.
Now you're
Congratulations,
officially,
Eric.
that notch is cleared.
Yep.
Now you don't need us for anything, bro. You're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did less work on that purchase than a couple rentals that I've done, I'll tell you that.
That's typically how that works, Eric. That's typically
Yeah.
how that works.
We can't tell you that ahead of time. That's
I
something
know,
you
man.
have to experience on your own. Maria did the same thing. Everybody that's ever been in real estate for more than
Yep.
2 years, you got to get your teeth sharpened on some horrible rentals. And then you
Yeah.
appreciate those buyers and sellers even
That's
more.
right. That's right. The rite of passage. You're absolutely correct.
Somebody's got to be the F and G and the grunt, man. I get it.
Well, Earl's first few were mine and Selena's.
I know. Yeah, the first few, I think it's 10.
It's all good.
Yeah, no, we all got
Charlie's happy, man. That's all that
Absolutely.
matters. Charlie's real happy with this place, so
I
we
love
did
it.
good.
Well, you did a great job, man. Did a great job.
Thank you.
Well, we're about 12 minutes remaining. Does anyone have anything else? And then I'll let you enjoy the rest of your day. This segment will be recorded, so I will note that Maria and Eric were here, and we'll send it out to everyone else and kind of let them know they need to watch it. But thank you, Maria. I appreciate that. And yeah, if there's anything we can do to help, again, reach out to us. We're available.
Yep.
All
I'll
right,
be
well,
back
everyone-
on Thursday afternoon, so see y'all soon.
All right, enjoy the rest of the day, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
All right, take care.